Greetings, Africans. Greetings, global Africans. This is King Echo. Free gift. China extends influence in Africa with 32 million grant for regional headquarters. ECOWAS accepted 31.6 million grant to build a new headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. ECOWAS is a community that has 15 countries. And you telling me that they cannot have the funds to build their own regional power? Africans, this is really shocking to me. It's really disturbing to me that we have a government or leadership of 15 countries working together, and they're not able to have the funds, to put the funds together that they need to build their own regional headquarters. Is that leadership? Africans, is that leadership? You are taking 31.6 million from China. Million, it's not even billion, million from China to build a regional headquarters. So the 51 nations that make up ECOWAS cannot contribute the money, cannot come up with the fund to build a regional building. And then how our leaders leading Africa, how are the leaders of these 15 nations leading ECOWAS, where they themselves cannot come up with funds to build their own regional headquarters? They have to accept free money from China. And you think that is not wrong? You know, it's becoming a disease where you see African leaders accepting money, free, thinking that it's free gift, accepting money from outside nations, from Asia or from the West, to build their own regional headquarters. What do we need the leadership of ECOWAS if they cannot come up with a way to create funds for themselves? This is all about leadership. We have a bunch of incompetent people who cannot create funds to spearhead their agendas. They have to go outside. They have to accept money. And if you look at it, in every country in Africa, they have been accepting money. This amount of money, this money, just to fund their institutions. Government or leadership is supposed to come up with ideas of how to create funds and so that they could facilitate all their needed organization or needed how can I put it, agenda that they need to accomplish. So we have a leadership that is only accepting money from donors. This is why Africa cannot grow. ECOWAS has decided to create the ECO currency, but they have to peg it with European currency. Why? Why do they have to do that? The more you think about it, it's just sickening. It's really a disease. We don't have leaders who are leading Africa. We just have a bunch of fools who are leading Africa. They're not creating solutions to solve the problems in Africa. ECOWAS is not doing it. African Union is not doing it. No countries in Africa are actually doing what is required to put Africa, in a stage where they can do stuff on their own. They have to receive money from other nations. In 2012, it handed over the ultra-modern African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa with a price tag of 200 million. So African Union, a union made up of 55 states, cannot come up with $200 million to build a regional to build an African Union building. They have to get free money from China. Let me ask you a question, Africa and African leaders and all Africans. Where do you think China is getting their own money from? Is somebody giving them the money? Where do you think Western nations are getting their own money from? Is somebody giving them the money? They're finding ways to get the money. And one of the ways they're finding to get the money is from the resources that the continent Africa has. So they take out the resources that we have, make money of it, and then even sell some of those resources back to us in a higher price, and we buy it. This is why we can never grow as a nation. This is why Africa can never grow, because they're always dependent. The leaders, this old quack we call leaders, are only stooges begging for money. They're not coming out with solutions to solve the problems that Africa is facing. They cannot do it. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wisdom to do it. And they will always want to demand respect. Like Buhari is saying that, the youths are not respecting the elders because of the Western influences. It's because you guys are not doing the job you're supposed to be doing. You're a bunch of fools who are not doing anything to enhance Africa. Yet you want African youth to respect you. How can we respect people who cannot even provide for the continent's growth? They have to go outside of the continent to get free money. But there's nothing as free lunch. All the money that China is dishing out, they're doing it with a purpose. With a purpose. With an aim to influence and control and benefit from Africa. And why they will do that, or why they're doing that, the people of Africa, the youths, will suffer. So it's time for African youth to realize that we need to reflame the Pan-African revolution. Because the problems that we face in Africa is caused by this useless bunch of leaders who don't know the left from right, who only wants to get free money. And you know something? That free money they're getting, like the 200 million for the African Union, 58 million to be 58 million parliament in Brazzaville of Congo, where they funded to build a building in Congo. All that money that has been given for free, as they claim to be, is not for free. Because the African youths will suffer. African youths must rise and take leadership. Because the old leaders in Africa are not doing what it is required to make Africa strong, to make Africa powerful, to make Africa influential in the world. When you're begging for money, you are like a prostitute You just go where the money is. That is what the African leaders are doing. Prostituting for money. Because they cannot make it for themselves. They cannot make it by themselves. Individually, they cannot do it. The African Union, ECOWAS, East African Community, you name it, all the 5 regions in Africa and the African Union cannot create the funds they need to run the facilities that they need to run to make Africa influential. Meaning that they are all bad leaders, all incompetent leaders, all useless leaders for the people of Africa. And the youths must rise. The Pan-African youths must rise and inflame a Pan-African revolution. We must take our continent back, or we will suffer in the future. This is King Angel. Till next time, share my videos.